How's it guys, Jandre here from VA Media. This is part 2 of how to leverage Payday in order to maximize your e-commerce growth. Right, in video 1 we spoke about how you can influence and manipulate your budget in order to match the consumer behavior and purchasing behavior, obviously specifically throughout the month. In this video I want to talk about not so much how you can influence the budget on a daily basis, but more so how you can manipulate your campaigns in order to ensure a higher return on ad spend. Cool, so I'm just jumping over to my iPad. This is really how most companies, spend their money. So if this is the 15th, the 25th, which is Payday, is around there, a lot of companies would spend their budget in a linear fashion. So they would spend, if the overall budget is 30K a month, they would spend 1K a day, and they would do that throughout the month, basically on a daily basis. Now, what we've seen is that if consumer behavior and consumer purchase behavior specifically, considering that people don't have real money during these times of the month, you want to eliminate wastage of budget, especially during these times. So if you haven't watched video number 1, you can go back and see how to manipulate those budgets. In this video, I'm going to talk about specifically how you can manipulate your campaigns. Now, this is specifically if you have already a strategic paid media strategy in place. This is assuming that you have top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom funnel campaigns running independently. So what are top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom funnel campaigns specifically? Well, for those of you wondering, it's very, very simple. This is basically the digital marketing funnel, and ideally top of funnel would just be people who have no idea who you are, completely ignorant to your offer and the value that you can provide. Middle of the funnel, we've got people who have engaged with the brand on social media in the form of a like, comment, or share, whatever way it might be, watched a video, but they have not really felt compelled, or they were not incentivized to click through to the site. And then at the bottom of the funnel, we have people who have seen the brand, people who have engaged with the brand, people who have been to the site as well. So the top of funnel audience is what we would call your cold audience, because these people are ice cold towards you. They have no idea who you are. The middle of the funnel is what we call your warm audience. So this is specifically people who have a better idea of what you do, but yet they haven't really taken a closer look at the products and the value that they can provide. And then we've got bottom of the funnel, which is your hot audience. So these people have a really good idea what you do. They have a really good idea of the products. Maybe they're just unsure about the price. Maybe they're just waiting for payday. Maybe there's just one or two other objections that needs handling before they would convert. Now, essentially, the funnel obviously, gets smaller as it goes further down, purely because of the fact that a lot of people drop off. What happens here is we've got about a 0.8% conversion rate on your site. Now, if you do not have a paid strategy like this in place, I highly recommend that you sort this out ASAP, because it's very, very important that you have a specifically uniquely crafted message for each part of the funnel as well. And at the end of the day, you've just got a much higher chance of converting someone into a customer and getting a higher return on ad spend. But furthermore, assuming that you do, I want to show you how you can manipulate these campaigns strategically in terms of budget around Payday in order to maximize your e-commerce growth. So if this is essentially, again, the 1st, the 30th, we've got the 15th, we've got the 25th around there. And considering that we are spending money on top of funnel, we're spending money on middle of funnel, and we're spending money on bottom of funnel. What we usually suggest you do is you spend 50% of your budget on the top of the funnel, because you constantly want to reach new audiences. You want to spend about 30% of your budget on people middle of the funnel, and you want to spend about 20% of your budget on people on the bottom side of the funnel. That's just a rough estimate. It varies for industries, it varies for different customers and clients essentially. Right, now considering that you are spending your budget in a linear type fashion, which is fine, and you're spending about 1K a day, the question is, do you constantly spend 50% of that budget, so 500 Rand, to top of funnel audiences, and do you do that strategically throughout the month? In the same fashion, considering that this is how people buy, and this is technically how your e-commerce store's revenue look throughout the month as well, because people stop spending money here and they start spending money there, because during this period, it's the graveyard shift. People don't have money, so regardless of the deal or regardless of how attractive the offer is, they just can't afford it, so they can't buy it. So the question is, how can you manipulate these campaigns strategically in order to maximize your returns? And what we've seen is that essentially you want to push top of funnel ads during this period of the month a lot more, because you want to get more people into your environment. So as opposed to spending 50% of the budget, you want to spend up to about 70% of the budget during this time of the month, purely because of the fact that people are not going to convert regardless of whether they want the product or not. It's a situation where people just don't have that amount of money. But come payday, from the 24th, 3rd, and so forth, you might want to reconsider your middle of funnel and bottom of funnel budgets. So during this period, you want to maybe spend roughly about 60 to 70% of the budget alone on middle funnel and bottom funnel campaigns, because now people already know who you are. They have seen the brand, they've maybe engaged with the brand, and now because they have money, they are more incentivized to actually act on the offer or the deal or the promotion or whatever you are putting in front of them. So in normal instances, we would have just spent 50% of the budget, during that time. But now by manipulating that and increasing that, you've got a higher chance of converting more people, because people at the bottom of the funnel just have a higher chance of converting into a customer. The cost per purchase is always going to be lower at the bottom of the funnel than it is at the top part of the funnel. Without rambling too much and getting lost in all the noise here, I want to conclude by just saying that, you don't have to run your campaigns in a linear fashion either. You can manipulate them strategically around paydays, and you want to allocate more budget towards the middle and the bottom of the funnel come payday, and you want to spend more money towards the top of the funnel, in the middle of the month, because you constantly need new people to come in and get an idea of who you are, what you do, and all that kind of stuff. You constantly want to reach new people. These people who were now in this part of the funnel, from the 8th or 10th to around the 22nd, probably wouldn't have converted anyway because they don't have money. So rather spend budget on reaching new people, and then come payday from the 23rd, 24th up until the 7th and 8th, spend more money in this part of the funnel, and you will see a higher amount of sales, you will see a lower cost of purchase, and you will see a higher return on ad spend. That's all I have to share with you today. However, stay tuned for part 3, because I've got more tactics and strategies to share with you around how to maximize and leverage payday for e-commerce growth. My name is Jandre. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I'll see you next time.